All right, just got in. Went and got this in trade for something that I already had. Now this is brand new in box, so I haven't really opened it aside from when I looked at it, but I didn't even open up the contents at that point either. It's my dog down there. I picked up the Tippmann Arms M4-22. Like I said, this is still new in box. I was kind of freaking out with these magazines. They push, slide out, load them, put it back into this like sleeve. I guess so you don't see that little spring in the center like so many other guns do. I don't really mind that spring look. It doesn't bother me. It's one less step in having to flip this up and slide it back down. So this is my first experience with Tippmann. I have the M4-22 with the 2.5 pound CMC trigger. But this one I'm told is a little nicer. It is more expensive, but I got it in trade, so I wasn't concerned about the price. It was a pistol I didn't really shoot anyway. I have others, so it worked out. It does have a nice, real clean look to it. The colors, some people really love the colors. I think it makes it look kind of toyish, but it's not bad. Hopefully I won't have any regrets. Looks like that's polymer. This feels polymer as well. I'm understanding that some of these are aluminum. I've yet to see one. This to me also polymer. So it's pretty lightweight. I will say the barrel does feel heavier. Or I don't know if it's the barrel, maybe it's the barrel nut, but this does feel a little heavier than my M&P 15-22. But hey, for a 22, it looks like it's built pretty solid. It's got that dual sling mount on there. Through the barrel. Hips and arms compensator. It actually feels real slick. Almost doesn't feel like aluminum. I'm expecting that it is, being that it's a compensator. Not aluminum, but metal. So overall, so far, it looks good. We'll see how it performs. In my head, I'll be comparing it to the 15-22 that I currently have, which I'll be honest, I really, really like. There's a reason I did the upgrades to it. It's a little dirty, not the worst thing. All right, but that's a look at my Tippmann. I'm not sure if I'll change anything on it just yet. Just got it, maybe put a red dot on it so far. But we'll see how it goes. Real quick, I forgot to add that it did come with this loader. I guess you just put the rounds in there, spin that, and I'm assuming it loads. These magazines, it did come with these 3 magazines. I don't know the round count on them. I literally just got it. I'm expecting it's probably 25. I'm hoping it's at least 25 or 20. Most of these style guns are typically 25. So, pull this up on here. Looks like it fills up the hopper with 25 rounds to 100 rounds. So since 25 is the minimum, they're probably 25. But yeah, I thought I'd add that in there. Forgot to put that in the video. So again, Tippmann 22, 3 magazines. Here's a side-by-side of the Tippmann versus the M&P 15. Now I've done a slight modification to mine. As you can see, it has the minimalist stock. And of course, other small things, just like the vertical grip. Trigger's not noticeable, but it is there. One thing I was looking at just now is the recoil system on here. And well, really just a buffer tube. That actually has a buffer tube. The M&P does not. Just a solid piece right there. Doesn't go anywhere. The other thing I noticed was the bolts. The bolt on the M&P 15 looks like this. pretty much polymer in the back, metal up front, little extractor. On the Tippmann, it's more of a solid piece. This reminds me more of the AR9 style without that little hump, but it's just more of a solid piece. Of course, it's got the extractor right there. It's a lot shorter, but it does feel sturdy. Or at least it looks a lot shorter in person versus the M&P. We'll see how they both work out, but just want to do a real quick side by side. And as you can see, the charging handle groove for the M&P sits on that to pull it back. This, on the other hand, has that cutout on the bolt carrier. And of course, this sits in there to pull that back. As I was looking this over, it looks like the receiver is aluminum. It's just that coating that makes it feel real slick. I was feeling it right now. I'm like, it actually feels harder. The top one though, it's got a texture that's just reminds me of polymer, but I guess it is. Now over the M&P, again, the buffer system that this has is more AR style. It does have the dust cover, whereas the M&P-15 doesn't, but then again, some AR-15s just don't have dust covers, but that's not the norm. I did think this is pretty cool on the trigger shoe. It's got like little serrations on there, but I do like my 2.5 trigger pull that my M&P does, but again, that was an aftermarket. It wasn't factory original. I don't know what this pulls at yet. Again, haven't shot it. And the angle on this grip is closer to 90 degrees than the slant on the M&P, which has the standard mil spec. Let me pull this up here. Standard mil spec grip on there. I left it on there because the gun's so light and thin, and I enjoy it. I felt the mag pull would just be too wide for the way this gun feels. And they both have that roughly 12.5 inch forend with flip up sights. No optics on that one. I took that one off. This one will definitely be getting some sort of optic, just don't know what yet. We'll see what goes. And this of course does have standard M16 AR-15 style stock on that, similar to the one that the M&P-15 had before I took it off. We'll see how it runs.